Oh my goodness. Whoa! Look at what we found. It still looks like someone's garden to me.
You join me once more on my expedition along a dismantled and long forgotten railway line. We're 4¼ kilometres along the 11-kilometre route between Aylesbury town centre and Cheddington station. I've enjoyed the plant life, the various animals spooked by my stomping, the jeopardy and challenging decision making, the way the land has changed over the decades since the railway was demolished, but not so much the uncomfortable, sometimes spiky new occupants of the line.
Oh, my face.
After my brief rest and reflection, basking in the golden sun, augmented by the peaceful trickling of the stream crossing my path, I set off once more into the mysterious lands beyond.
All right, there's nothing left for it. I've got to try and get across this. Probably looks easy on camera, but I think I'm going to find it a bit harder than that. Because I'm me. Down we go. Whoa! Oh my god. And we're in. And we're in. But we're good. Just need to climb up on the other side. Oh god, that's not what you want to hear. Yeah, nice.
One last look at the tranquil spot where I'd had my morning break, and it was time to be off again. The trees were fairly forgiving, and I made decent ground through the dappled tunnel they formed. I paused to peer into a number of holes, entryways into what I can only assume to be a badger's set. A theory perhaps strengthened by my discovery of a mysterious skull that I reckoned to be about badger size. I followed a natural trail, surely made by the animal denizens of this secluded copse, but it soon ran out as I found myself at the natural end of this stretch of track, and a small building enticing me to investigate.
Got to get through there. We've got to go and check it out. Can't hear anyone. Why would anyone be here? Just an old stable. Oh, you're kidding me. Here, of all places.
The engraving reads, "Erected August 1958, MG and EJC." Paired with the engraving I'd missed inside, Rickard Brothers, Builders, Wingrave, it gave enough clues for me to dive into a bit of family history research. The Rickard family had been in the building trade in the nearby village of Wingrave since the mid-1800s at least. While I couldn't really identify MG or EJC, the latter could well be one Ernest James Rickard, although he'd have to have been 75 while laying the bricks for this stable. But it was still a lovely snapshot of local history lost to time. A note on the date. While the 19 has eroded away, historical maps from the 1890s and aerial imagery from 1945 both prove there was no building here back then. And I think the construction looked a bit too new for the 1800s anyway.
So while it's not a railway building, and boy would I have loved to have found the remains of an old guardhouse or something along this line, or an old signal box, it's still cool to find an old concrete or something stable that's been there for the last nearly 70 years. This is the bit I was looking forward to the most. Walking through virtually open countryside, no one around, no rubbish on the floor, nothing really to hint to anything that you want to escape from of humanity. And it just makes me wonder, why aren't spaces like this used? This is a gorgeous little walk. Why not just put a little bit of money behind revamping it a little bit, leaving it as natural as possible really, and making it so that people could come and enjoy this? And of course I say that, but this is technically private property. I think this must belong to the farmer. I can see tracks here where vehicles clearly occasionally go. But it's just a beautiful zone of post-industrial, reclaimed by nature, wonderland, if you've got as much imagination as me. And I think it's a shame that more people can't enjoy it. According to historical documents, the railway, this entire branch from Aylesbury to Cheddington, including the land, the labour, the materials, the parliamentary expenses, everything, cost around £59,000 back in 1839. And in today's money, that's just over £5 million. And £5 million for almost 7 miles of train track? What do you reckon? Worth it? And suddenly, curiously, there's a really nicely maintained, new looking gate. Is this a public footpath? I'm slightly concerned about the farm building I can see just off route over there. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow. Bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Do you know, I wasn't expecting it to be just like this. I was expecting to have to battle my way through like I was doing earlier, and like I will no doubt have to do again later as well. Now this gets a bit tricky. There's a mound in front of me where the train line originally would have run. But we've got this farm that I'm worried about, and the path, or the track, kind of goes round on the wrong side of this mound, putting me in complete open view of this farm. Can't see anyone working on it, so we're just going to have to deal with it. Walk quickly, get it done, although walking quickly might be tricky here. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's muddy and slippery. Oh, have I gone the wrong way? No, we're fine. We've just got to be quick. Completely overgrown there, can't get into that. Oh, but there is a footpath sign. That is... This is a public footpath. Are you kidding me? Oh, wonderful. Would you look at that? Now this happy little sign here is one of my favourite kind of signs in the UK. It means that you have public right of way. Doesn't matter what the land is, as long as there's a public footpath sign guiding you across it, you're not breaking the law. And this one seems to run from across there where the solar farm is, back this way, and along the track I was worried about trespassing on. Of course that's the actual way through the train line, but I think we'll let ourselves off this once. Here we go. No farmers can touch me. It is so overgrown in there. Definitely gone back to nature. No one has touched this for quite some time.
I crossed the farm track, seemingly nice and quiet on a Saturday, and checked how overgrown my line was. Very, it turned out. Knowing I could follow the hedgerow closely enough in the next field, I doubled back to the footpath, traversed the Kissing Gate, trip-trapped over the rickety-rackety bridge, and diverted from the footpath ahead of me to skirt the border of the field instead. I even spied a mini tunnel or culvert under the railway.
I know I keep going on about this, but there is a sense of striking out into the unknown here. It's like poor old Sam when he first left the Shire. If I take one more step, Mr. Frodo, this will be the furthest from home I've ever been. And I definitely feel that. Take a path that you've not taken before. I mean, it's not the most stunning scenery you've ever seen. You can find much more stunning on YouTube. But I hope what I'm able to portray to you here is that it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be all-encompassing and dangerous and enormous. Whoa! Huge deer. I really hope you can see that. Had antlers and everything. But there you go, fauna jumping out at every opportunity. You never know what you're going to come across, and that's part of the excitement. And all of a sudden, that hedgerow that concealed where the train track was has turned into nothingness. I was kind of hoping that I might come across some forgotten relic of the railway, some sleeper or rail or, I don't know, strut or something that would hint as to the railway's existence, something tangible and direct anyway. But so far, I mean, I'm looking at the ground as I go along, so far there has been nothing. They completely ripped the whole thing up, and I wonder where all that stuff went. Oh my goodness, literally, I've not set this up, but literally, as I say that, look what I have just found. I have just found exactly what that chap showed us at Broughton House. So I'm pretty sure it's these that held in the sleepers or the rails or something. What an incredible find. And I mess about you not. This turned up seconds after I was moaning about the last 3 hours being unfruitful. I've got to think this one through. Straight ahead is someone's private garden, which is where the old station used to be. I don't want to go off course that way. I definitely don't want to go off course that way, straight towards the farm. I think the best thing to do is just to go straight across, and then maybe over there on the left, I'll be able to cut through onto the main road, and I'm back to safety. So let's just follow the train track and just hope no one sees us. And look, another one. I guess they weren't so well hidden after all. Anyway, I need to get off this field. Right, I realise now this is maybe a bit open. There's a lovely house there that hopefully doesn't own this land. That's where the platform used to be, that's where the station used to be. Incredible to think. And you can see all the way back where we've come. That's our train track. Okay, onwards. I'm not cutting through someone's garden. That's a level of trespass that I think is disrespectful and potentially dangerous. The farm didn't seem to have given me any trouble, so it's nice. And oh look, a beautiful, easy to climb over gate. And while this is definitely an easier way out, we have come a good 70 odd meters off our course here. So it'll be nice to get back on it. But here we are on the appropriately named Station Road. Why is it called Station Road? Because there used to be a station here, of course.
Marston Gate Station, it was called, serving as the only stop between Aylesbury and Cheddington on the 7-mile journey. It was built in 1860 to serve local agriculture, and tons of baskets of fruit from nearby orchards would be loaded onto rail-bound wagons, as well as around 50 milk churns a day in the 1900s, set for the old condensed milk factory in Aylesbury. All that remains of the railway now is a surprisingly obvious scar across the landscape. The local building names, and the station building itself, now renovated into a private residence. And it was lunchtime. I considered this midway station an appropriate place to rest my feet, slake my thirst, and curb my growing hunger with a slightly squashed packed lunch. I also took the opportunity to assess my mud-caked boots and filthy socks, and to lament the damage to my trousers. But while the town of Aylesbury with its county offices still visible in the hazy distance was a long way behind me, there was more yet to explore in the direction of Cheddington, some 2.5 miles up ahead. Preparing to hop the gate, a rumbling from behind me turned out to be nothing to worry about. So I got on with the job. Remaining alert though, as I really didn't want my little adventure to have to end prematurely.
The railroad runs through the middle of the house. The railroad runs through the middle of the house. Oh my gosh. Oh, it just opens. All right. Thank you. Ooh. A farmer's tractor. I'm sure we're fine. He's not coming after me, he's not beeping. No one has been through here. Oh! Oh! Okay, brambles suck. Let's go this way. No one has been through here for years and years and years. And look, there's all the barbed wire that could have been up, but wasn't, and I'm glad about that. Ooh, red kite. I love these birds. It's funny, even though this is just a regular field, you can still tell, despite there being nothing left of it, that this was something different. You've got it banking down that side there. You've got it banking down that side there. This is clearly a different part of the local landscape than any of that. Cool. And something straight ahead on my path that looks like an animal, but it's not moving. Oh! Wow, it's a hare! And you thought you were hidden, you silly thing. Look at it run. It's a hare, not a rabbit. Rabbits hop, hares run. And that hare was running. Hope you could hear that. That's the sound of skylarks, the perfect British summertime sound that sadly is getting rarer and rarer. As I squelch across this muddy patch of grass, I notice we're back onto another footpath. Another beautiful public footpath sign pointing the way to go, but of course it's pointing the wrong way because that's what I want to have to go through. But no, that's going to be way too overgrown. I learned my lesson earlier, so I'm going to follow the footpath round until we get to a slightly easier point of entry. Do you know, I think actually I might need to get in here. Looks pretty open in there. Let's go. Oh, I can battle my way through. Oh, ow. Oh, that was rubbish, but look at what we found. The old railway line. Oh, look at this, just beautiful. Beautiful, unspoiled bit of nature reclaiming things. And look, all these trees have been growing since it was all pulled up. Obviously they wouldn't have been here back when the railway was running. It's getting far too overgrown now, so it's time to get out into the opposite field. Just check no one's here. So, train track on that side. We're going to carry on. There's a farm coming up, and it's not just a farm, there's other stuff there too. So I'm going to have to be a bit careful as I run across. Oh, what is this? Any ideas what that is? So there is actually a public footpath that runs through there. I wonder if it goes left on the other side, because if it does, we don't have to worry about being in the wrong part of the world. This is nice though, just cutting back through what I've just come out of. I wonder how many people have come along this footpath and had no idea that it used to be a train line. Ah, as you can see, we have to go that way as part of the footpath. What's on this side anyway? Yeah, the farm buildings and a big hedge that I don't think I'm going to get beyond. I think it makes more sense to go back this way.
It was a shame to leave this beautiful thicket behind, but as it was on a public footpath, I could always revisit. I continued to follow parallel to the line, along the field's border, until I caught sight of the facility I'd been concerned about. I remained silent to avoid detection, and kept looking over my shoulder to check for cameras.
Oh, it's a car mechanic engineering workshop. Look at some of those cars. There is a security camera, so we'll be careful, but look at those. Wow. Well, I'm glad there was no need to panic or worry about that place too much. It is easy to get a little bit paranoid when you're out here. I mean, luckily I've not seen a soul apart from people on main roads and of course in the residential areas of Aylesbury. But really it's just been me and the wildlife on this beautiful Saturday morning. Jawbone of something. Any ideas? Look at those teeth. They look like sharp teeth to me. My goodness. It's the scale of these things. It's quite something. What would I say they are? 8-10 meters tall? Quite impressive. Don't want this coming down on me. Sure it won't. Oh, there goes a buzzard. Very black buzzard. Yeah. I'm just cutting across here a little bit because we're starting to get a little bit far off the main track on that side, and I want to see if there's a better route on this side that keeps us closer to the line. Yep. Almost dead on the route. I thought those might be rails to begin with. You can imagine my excitement. Now I'm getting nervous. Up ahead I see official looking signs and building and fence. Well, we've got to go through that, haven't we? This is so cool. I'm slightly claustrophobic, so I'm not enjoying this immensely, but I'm enjoying it enough. And here we are on the other side. Wow. So while I said there weren't going to be any tunnels, there are culverts like this dug under the train track that allowed water to go through. And I assume, can't see any dates or anything, but I assume that was built for the trains. It's old and in disrepair now, but wow, fun. I've actually got to get back on the other side of that, because on this side there be water. I assume animals use this. Oh, I don't know if you can see a dead bird there. Some animals definitely do use this. Yeah, not in a great state of repair, is it? But wow, that's cool. Whoa! It's hard to get up this muddy cliff. There's every chance that that's much newer. I'm so clumsy. Much newer than the railway track, and it was built by farmers since just to take water from one field to the other. But either way, cool stuff. Nice little find. Oh dear, look at me. Game feeds. Huh? Pigeon food. I mean, pheasant food. There are definitely pheasants around. And what I thought was fences and buildings isn't. It's just a couple of containers. I think we can sneak past them. Oh my goodness, partridges and pheasants. And as we trudge our way towards Mentmore Crossing, I just want to reminds you why I'm paranoid about being caught. As I say, I'm not someone who used to break the rules. Walking along here, I guess, is technically breaking the rules. And the idea of being collared by a farmer or a landowner who's angry about me being here is mildly nerve-wracking. Which is why I'm so pleased that I've not had anyone today, and I'm getting quite complacent as well. La-di-da-di-dee, look at me, I'm in a field. But as I follow it along, I'm feeling good. And I can see some houses over on the right there that belong to almost Cheddington. In fact, I think those might be the southern end of Cheddington. So we're nearly there. Oh, and the sun's coming out and I've got everything to myself. And this is the easiest this walk has been so far. It's glorious! Come out and do this. It's so nice. It's so basic and easy to do as well. If you're able-bodied, if you're capable, do it. I spent so many years as a child, as a teenager, refusing time and time again to do what my parents said, which was, come on, let's go outside, let's get out in the sun, let's go into the outdoors, do something interesting, do something active. And all I wanted to do was stay inside and play computer games. Don't get me wrong, I like computer games, but I was missing out. And here's Mentmore Crossing. There wasn't a station or a platform here, but there was a railway crossing, and I think it used to be guarded. Village of Mentmore up there. But we're carrying on. And Buckinghamshire County Council is telling us to go this way. So I guess it's worth addressing why a dismantled train line, Steve. We didn't know you were interested in the outdoors, we didn't know you were interested in trains. Well, I'm not really that into either of those things. You know, I'm not an outdoor junkie who's constantly doing outdoor active fitness stuff. And I'm not a massive train enthusiast either. I don't know, there's something about the history of them, the fact that there was this really specific, really peculiar branch line, and the fact I didn't even know it was there until late last year when I was looking at the map and I thought, wow, that's odd. We've got a lot of straight line going all the way out that way. I wonder what that was, and then just came across the fact that there was a railway. Never knew it. There's Cheddington Station. There it is. Hello. Well, the dog has beaten me to it, but there you can see in the distance Cheddington Station. Got to be distracted by you. So with the station there, the train track ran round along through where these houses and gardens are now to end up there. And as if to herald our arrival, 2 trains. You do wonder if there's anything left of the train line amongst these sheds and garages and allotments and garden furniture. Oh, I see a footpath sign. Is this going to be a way I can cut through? No, it's facing the way they've gone. Oh, hang on. Am I going to be able to do a naughty thing and get through into the railway land here before that nasty fence starts? It still looks like someone's garden to me. But it's overgrown. There's scaffolding up all around the house and I can't see anyone. I might just be able to do it because I'm not getting over that. Let's go. Might use the tree to get over so I don't put too much pressure on the fence. And we're in, and we've got to be quiet now. I going to get out here though? This looks good. Oh, can't get my foot over. Yes, I can. There we are. No harm, no foul. Thank you and apologies, house. But now, this is it. There's a little robin heralding my arrival as well. Hey, Robin. And out of the scrub here, we join the last bit of the railway as it links up to the mainline services going north towards Birmingham and onwards, and then south towards London. And that's it, we're here, we've made it. Including breaks, that has taken me 4 hours and 57 minutes. And I've gone 14.5 kilometres when it should have been 11.1. So definitely not stuck to the straight line of the railway, but hey, here we are. I'm so pleased we've done it. I can't believe it actually was possible. Standing on the platform that used to be the terminus of the Aylesbury to Cheddington branch line.
I realise I haven't mentioned why the old train line ceased running. Mainly, it became dwarfed and irrelevant with time, and the awkward change at Cheddington was far inferior to its competition, Aylesbury's newer direct main line to London. The times, they are a-changin', after all.
Anyway, I know there's a nice pub or two in Cheddington. The actual village is just a kilometre away. I'm going to go there. See you at the pub.
No sooner had my journey begun than it ended just 7 miles later. My mind was still stuck on the idea of lines, routes, brambles and rails. And as I headed pubwards, I cast my thoughts back towards Aylesbury and the remains of the railway that once ran there, both hidden and obvious in equal measure. While I hadn't found the overgrown ruins of an old signal box or the hint of a glimmering metal rail under new earth, I had witnessed the scars on the landscape, the telling, unnatural lines that now seem so hard to miss.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow.
That's a jubilantly happy boy there.
A day away.
But perhaps my subconscious had something to tell me through that spontaneous burst of song. There was plenty to look back on, of course. The nature, the history, the philosophy of the changing use of the land, perhaps. But there was also the future, tomorrow. What would another 60-odd years bring to the landscape? Or even just to the line that I'd walked? There were already developments happening, encroaching on the dismantled track's very existence, but not always without a bright hint or warm acknowledgement of the local importance of the old Aylesbury to Cheddington branch line. To some degree, I was thinking about my own future too. This little adventure had been small in scale, yes, but to me and my lingering childhood exploration fantasies, there had been some magic in the journey. Perhaps I'm romanticising it a little, but isn't that the point? It made me feel so good and awoke in me a desire to get out and do it all again and again. Weeks on, as I record this final voiceover, the memories still feel warm and cosy, and I often notice my mind wandering out into the local countryside, daydreaming up the next little adventure. And I hope you'll join me for it when it happens.
Oh, that's delicious.
My wife and kind driver, Scarlett, joined me in the crisp February afternoon sun at the Old Swan pub. I regaled her with the successes and mishaps of the trip for quite some time. Before we knew it though, the sun was sinking and home was calling. The drive home was quiet and comfortable. And as the scenery rushed by, I could hear its beckoning call, promising to share with me more of its long-hidden secrets when I returned. It was good to arrive home. They say that's where the heart is, although now I felt my heart had grown ever so slightly, and that extra part would live happily out among the eastern fields, along an old, dismantled, overgrown railway line, now just a little less forgotten. I'd like to say an extra special thank you to my long-time viewers and my supporters on Patreon. You've been with me for so many years through thick and thin, and I can't thank you enough. This little adventure is dedicated to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching.